So this guide is going to be for how to death level a pet following the 3050 HOM guide and for general use. The first thing you're going to want to do is make a PvP character, and you're going to choose Necromancer. The campaign doesn't really matter or anything like that. You're going to spawn in the Great Temple of Balthazar. Um, the skills you're going to want to use are Blood is Power and Charm Animal for yourself. Nothing else really matters. And the skills you're going to use for your heroes are two monks, both with UA and both with QZ, and you're going to put Serpent's Quickness on both of them as well. You're going to have a third hero, which is a Mesmer, and they are going to have UA, Arcane Echo, and Ether Signet. This is just to help with lining things up if you're not AFKing. As for armor for yourself and weapons, you are going to need a vampiric weapon, either from PvE or if you've unlocked the mod on the account, you can just create a generic weapon with the mod on, and then you're going to put +3 runes on yourself. You don't need to, it just makes it faster doing this, but you are going to need at least a vampiric weapon. For the heroes, you can give them as much energy as possible. That is the best case scenario, but I'm just going to throw on some normal PvP staffs here because it gets the job done fine. You're going to want to have a second weapon slot with nothing in it because you're going to want to swap to it later on. And you're going to want to disable QZ on both heroes, and you're going to want to disable Ether Signet on the Mesmer. This is because they just don't like using them properly. First thing that you want to do if you have a pet and you want to get rid of a pet, you need to go to this NPC here, and she'll get rid of the pet for you. If you don't have one, then you can just continue as normal over to where the Phoenix is, or whichever pet you're trying to death level. The Phoenix normally spawns here and travels around a bit, so depending on where they start, I kind of place a little bit away from them to give some wiggle room, but you'll just flag all of your heroes there. You will enable one of the QZs on one of the heroes and make them cast it, and then you can go ahead safely disable the other QZ. You do want to keep Ether Signet disabled the whole time, just to be safe. And then you'll auto the pet one time so it becomes hostile, and then you'll start bipping your team to start dying, and they'll start rezzing you, and you'll keep bipping all the way until you get down to 1 HP. And at this point you'll just be dying nearly instantly on spawn. Your heroes will use UA on cooldown, and they drop it instantly, so you just constantly res. It goes by really fast. You do need to make sure that the pet doesn't wander too far away, or it could stop getting EXP depending on how far, but this shouldn't really be too much of a problem. Now, this method is fully AFKable. It'd probably take 15 minutes or so to get them to level 20, which isn't bad. If you wanted to slightly micromanage your heroes, you could speed it up by roughly 5 minutes or so. What you do for microing them, it is kind of click intensive, but when one hero uses QZ, the other one will use Serpent's Quickness, so they get UA on a faster recharge while the other one's casting QZ. And the hero will use Arcane Echo. The Mesmer hero will use Arcane Echo for their UA. So they get 2 of them, and you just constantly go back and forth between this. When the Mesmer hero gets low on energy, you would use Ether Signet to give them energy. But you can just easily AFK with this method and be perfectly fine. I'm gonna let the video continue playing at faster speed for now, and we'll see when it finishes. Alright, and now the pet is level 20, and all we do now is quickly spam F2 or click the second weapon set as fast as possible. So when you spawn, you can swap weapons and not degen to death with your 1 HP. It might take a couple tries depending on how fast you are, but it should be fine. And then you want to use Charm Animal on the pet and cap them, and there you go, you have it. Since I damaged the pet and it didn't do any damage back to me, it became hardy. So we can take it over to the trainer over here and turn it in. And now we can go to this trainer here and it will allow us to spawn any evolution that we want. And you can cap them if you want them, but you can take these level 20s and go turn them into your hollow monuments. And there you go, enjoy.